This is Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans with me, Cheryl Burke, an iHeartRadio podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans. We have no intro needed. Dance Dad, Double D's, Thomas Bergeron.
Hello, love. How are you doing?
Welcome to the BBC. Just kidding.
Good eye.
Okay.
Good eye.
Let's just, you know what? Just tell me how you really feel. Let's just get down and dirty. Are you ready?
Okay.
We're good
so
at
you're
this.
saying the last episode we did was merely just warming up to this
manipulating
one. Is that right?
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Did
right.
I do a good job though?
You're like a conversational chiropractor.
Oh, goodness. I learned from the best of the best.
Thank you. I assume you meant me.
Why did you get fired?
Well, I'm sure they'll give you a different reason.
But I want to know your reason. I don't care about their reason.
It's a story I think people have heard, but I'll go back and do it one more
because
time.
I don't think you're telling everything.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll start and you can interrupt and
Sure.
if you don't
Do what I'm
feel I'm
good
being
at.
honest. So at the end of 2018, we knew there'd be no spring season in 2019 for the first time because ABC had acquired American Idol and they tried a 4-week athletes season that just didn't really work. It was overbooked and all that. I think that was the first indication of that. I think that other showrunner had the responsibility of that one. And I thought, okay, we're in trouble. Okay. And so during the summer of 2018, the summer of 2019, sorry, I had 2 lunches, one with that showrunner person and another one with his boss at the BBC, separate lunches.
Right.
Each of them asked me, and they came to where I live in Calabasas. They came to one of my favorite places there. Yeah, up to that point. And each of them asked, we've been off the air. We'll have been off the air for the better part of a year. By the way, we did a lot of research. You tested really well. I'd signed a new contract for 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. What do you think we should be focusing on? I said, well, look, 2019 is the threshold to an election year in America. We are a very divided country. Mm-hmm. And I said, just nobody of any party, don't go there. Just make us the wonderful escape from all that divisiveness for 2 hours a week. And they both at their respective lunch. Oh, you're so right. Oh, yes, you're right. Let's play to our strengths. And then a few weeks later, I get a phone call from the showrunner and another producer, and they run down the list of who's going to be on the show. And this former showrunner says to me, you might want to sit down for this last one. I said, why? And then they told me who it was, the former press guy for Trump. And I said, guys, this is exactly what we said we wouldn't do. And I would have responded the same way if they had booked Hillary Clinton, whom I voted for. Don't go there. This is, not the right time. Play to our strengths. Be the show that gives people a break from all this bullshit. So I was furious. At one point, I even said, how about if I take the season off? Just and they said, well, you do that, we'll let you out of your contract if you want. That's how strongly they felt about it.
Who said that?
The showrunner.
The showrunner said that to you.
Yes, and the other person on the phone with him. And I said, and that really pissed me off. So I said, all right, let me try to be Switzerland here. But I was furious. And again, this goes back to the Ryan Lochte thing. If I had known what was happening, mm-hmm. and my temper kicked in, it wasn't going to be pretty.
Got it.
This time I knew what was happening and my temper kicked in. And I was at least going to let people know that they fucking lied to me.
Right.
So I wrote the statement that I wrote mm-hmm. that did not name anybody, that mm-hmm. did not name a political party. Mm-hmm. It merely said, I was told certain things when I was asked my opinion. They agreed. And now they've thrown a curveball. I even went so far as to say, it's their right to do that. They're the producers of the show. If that's mm-hmm. what they want to do, they are entitled to do that. We will have to agree to disagree. But when the moment that Spicer was mentioned on Good Morning America, my phone started blowing up. People were outraged.
How long did you know prior to his announcement?
Couple weeks.
Okay.
Couple weeks. So at that moment, I knew this is probably my last season.
Because of that one decision.
Because of that one betrayal.
Got it.
Because of that one that I had been lied to by people who were in charge.
Right.
So I was.
You've never been treated like that prior, obviously.
Well, because up until that point, there were people of character there.
Yes.
And the moment that sails out of the building, you're screwed. So I released that statement. My lawyer even said to me at the time, he said, it's really well written. It doesn't target anybody. It's a well thought out perspective, but you're putting a bullseye in your back.
Why?
Because he knew that it would be controversial, that suddenly the host of a network show is saying, I don't agree with how they're booking it. I've been misled.
And they weren't aware you were going to be posting this, obviously.
No.
Not
and
anyone.
They didn't deserve to know. They'd screwed me. I'm going to screw them. But I wanted the viewers to know this was a step too far to me.
Yeah.
This was a step too far. On the cusp of an election year. And again, had it been a Democrat, same statement.
You would have done that? Really?
Yep,
honestly?
Yep,
if Obama was about to do this, you would have said the same thing and reacted the same way.
Yep. Because it wasn't about my political beliefs. It was about my feeling about the show.
Right.
What is this show at its best? And what was happening was we were suddenly becoming this show at its worst.
For ratings.
Yeah, for ratings.
For what they thought would be
ratings, just for controversy. I remember
saying... But hasn't the show always done this, Tom? It's always, every single season has had controversy.
Up to a point, yes. But I didn't feel that from a societal standpoint, where we were as a country, we were in a divided country to the extent that I had never experienced before. And I was in high school during Watergate. I mean, come on. But, during Vietnam War protests and race riots and all that, this to me felt like a darker period of our history. And we were fueling that fire. And I just felt it was wrong. I felt it was a disservice to the show. And had it been Obama, who I would have voted for a third time if he was, constitutionally able to run, I would have released the same statement.
Obviously, you didn't want to be a part of the cast at that point, right? Like when Sean Spicer was cast on the show.
I was. Yeah, I was going to. Aaron and I. Said, and I think it's true, that if you didn't know about all the controversy going on behind the scenes, if you only watched the show, you never would have known that there was anything. I think that we were very professional.
Yes, of course.
When it was Sean's birthday, I wished him a happy birthday on the air, all of that stuff. I didn't put him in that green outfit. Somebody else did. I'm not guilty for that one. But, I knew what was going to happen. I knew that Trump would be tweeting about it and all that. You're just playing into this. So why do it? But, I can't speak to the mindset of the people who booked the show because, frankly, I can't explain it myself.
So obviously you felt betrayed.
Yes.
And you felt betrayed by the people that you thought would never betray you.
Not necessarily. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the showrunner, obviously, and there were some other people there. More people who I thought I knew, who it turned out I didn't really know that well.
So was that the most disappointing hit?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And did Aaron just have your back?
She did. We would basically, because at that point they had a set that this big wall would open and we'd walk out to start the show. And we would always just kind of look at each other and go, okay, all right, 2 hours. This is our reality. Here we go.
So was that whole season was like that?
Yeah, the whole season. It was.
Wow, you were miserable.
I was miserable the whole season. So anyway, to your original question, I whatever they will say, the bullshit thing somebody said, oh, it's because he did The Masked Singer. Come on, get a life. Really. I was a fucking taco singing Sinatra. I'm sure that's not a reason to fire some. But I had called them on the carpet, and they don't like that. So there you go. But I knew.
What don't they like what don't they like?
They don't like being called a liar in public.
They as a company, or they as
no, those individuals who were
specific individuals
running the show and running that part of the network at the time.
Don't you find this happening in general though, with a lot of talent versus executives?
Maybe, it was the first time that it had come to that level with me, but I could see we were getting on a bit of a slippery slope, up to, when Ashley was kind of elbowed out.
Right.
Because Ashley, who I thought did a brilliant job.
She was a showrunner.
Yeah, the showrunner. When this other person came on, supposedly as a co-executive producer, that's how it was told to me. This was the first lie. And then I find out that Ashley has to report to this person and has to teach this person how to do the show. It's almost like at a supermarket, when they institute the self-checkout lines and they have the cashiers teach you how to use it so they can be obsolete soon. It's kind of like that. And so
was Ashley even aware of this, that she was basically training her replacement?
Yeah. When she told me that she had to teach this guy the show and she was reporting to him, I went to both the network and the BBC to say, flag on the play here. This isn't what I was told was going to happen. How can you make this person over her when she's doing the job and he doesn't know how to do it? So that was the first indication that okay, we're playing a different game of rules here.
Do you think that they were thinking Tom needs to stay in his lane? Like,
I'm sure. I'm sure they were.
You are starting to cross boundaries as far as employee or on-camera talent versus executives.
Absolutely.
But they did ring this in front of your, like they were waving this piece of meat in front of your face when they first asked you your opinion on the cast from when they went to Calabasas, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Was this a normal thing? Did they do this every season?
Nope. That was the first time that we actually had those kind of lunches. It wasn't odd because it was the first time we would have been off for the better part of a year. So, and it was, after the whole Bobby Bones thing and the ratings had taken a little bit of a hit and so, they were doing a lot of sort of deep diving as to what makes the show work and what works to its disadvantage. So that in that spirit, I thought they came to me for my perspective, and I gave it to them, and there you go.
Do you think they were indirectly wanting you to step down, and they pissed you off?
Well, it felt that way. Yeah. The moment they said, we'll let you out of your contract, I thought, okay, I think I know what's going on here. So when I said, I'll try to be Switzerland, I knew I'd be writing a statement. I didn't know how that would blow up the way it did, but I also knew it was probably my last season.
You say in other interviews that you fell out of love with the show. When was that, even prior to this moment, or? It was a gradual process with the hiring of this person who I thought was in over his head and the ousting of Ashley. Right. Because you saw the treatment that she was being. Right. And I saw the subterfuge that was occurring. And that made me love it less. And I was also, as I think I said in one interview at the time, I'd been doing it long enough. I was at a point in my career comfortable enough that I don't need this shit. Right. If you're going to lie to me, if you're going to, if this kind of other nonsense going on behind the scenes, F it. Do you believe in like separating business versus pleasure and more like business versus emotional? Like this is where it's hard for me to separate. Yeah. I'm only asking because I'm in a similar situation where it's like, when the heart is gone, it's just a job, right? Yeah. But then within that, you have to also have boundaries. You have to also have self-respect. I mean, if you do or not is irrelevant, and I think that had a big part to play in what I saw as a like watching a sandcastle succumb to the tide, with this beautiful sandcastle of the show was being slowly eaten away by people who, for whatever reason, just acted the way they acted.
And so I left and they made another choice, and that person left after her contract was done. And now finally they got good people back, and the show, I think, has righted itself to some degree.
Look, overall, the show, as you said earlier, it's been great to us, right? In so many different ways. Again,
I look at the math of it, and 95% of my experience was really quite wonderful. And, there were a number of times, even prior to that final season, that I would hear about a booking and swallow a little hard and go, oh, okay, I can kind of maybe see the rationale here. But at that last juncture, again, I go back to your previous question. I felt very protective of the show, but also cognizant of the fact of where we were as a country and what we didn't want to feed into at that time. And that's sort of where I decided to plant my flag. And, a really good friend of mine in Boston, I had dinner with, and he said to me, "You're not into it as much anymore, are you?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I can tell."
Remember that conversation we had on stage right before blocking, or right before the live show, right before dress rehearsal, and we were both saying, like, this is just a different vibe.
Yeah. And it really wasn't true for me until when this new hire came in. I wasn't aware of the whole way it would play out with Ashley, because Ashley was still there and she was still in charge of the show. But as that year progressed and I could see what was, in my estimation, really going on, then I felt like, okay, this is not, I think I said in one interview, the show that I left was not the show that I loved. And that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But again, the asterisk and the caveat is where they are now with Alfonso and Julianne, and with Conrad back as the showrunner and Derek in there as a judge. I couldn't be happier for them.
Would you come back?
No, never.
Why?
Because it's not the same show. It's not the same world,
But it's okay if it's not the same.
Yeah, but I've done that. I did it for a lot of years. There's no point. What would I prove? There was a game show host. This, you won't know the reference. His name Richard Dawson, who was an actor who hosted the original version of Family Feud for years, right? Okay. And he had this weird kinky thing. He would always kiss all the female contestants on the lips.
Wait, before me too. This is before me too.
Yeah. So anyway, he leaves the show. Other hosts come in, and then about 5 years later, they bring him back because the ratings are dipping. And he's a very different person at that point. And they tell him, Richard, you can't kiss the gals anymore and all this. And plus, he just didn't. It wasn't. He wasn't as into it. It wasn't fresh. I mean, it just, why would I do that? It just, let the show either exist with the fresh blood that it has now, or die a natural death.
Right. What do you think you want to do next in your career that you haven't had a chance to do, that's on your bucket list, haven't been able to cross it off yet?
But there's nothing really. To be honest,
come on, you and your IPA, EPA. What's it called?
It's an IPA. Oh. Yeah, they even spell it on the can, so you know how to spell IPA. Like last week, I shot a couple of commercials for an insurance company, right? And,
cute.
And, yeah.
Are you the new Geico?
No,
lizard?
The lizard's got like a lifelong contract, and lizards can live a very long time.
No, yes, I know. Yeah. Remember, I was married to one.
Oh, but bump. But there's nothing really that I have a burning desire to do in the business anymore. I've done talk shows, game shows, reality shows.
Would you do a late night talk show? Would you be the new Jay Leno?
No, because that's what they need, another white guy hosting a late night talk show. Yeah. Oh my God, there's such a scarcity of white guys hosting late night talk shows. White guys in their late 60s. Yeah, there's a real target audience for that.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, no, there isn't. You're right. Okay, yeah, you just need to be happy in your retirement.
I'm having a ball. I'm really I'm loving life and enjoying where we are now. And, I'm here this week at the film festival, and I'll be back in California, for 6 weeks. I'll be co-hosting with Yvette Nicole Brown, the second telethon for the Motion Picture Television Fund on KTLA. To be able to do things like that during the strike, I brought my Cameo account back up, and
I heard that,
sending money to the actors. What used to be the Actors Fund is now entertainmentcommunity.org, and they help people who are in need during the strike.
I know you were, Thomas.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? This is a good one.
What's this?
This is going to be called Name That Host. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, God. Okay.
And then the last one is rapid fire from your fans. Okay. You have to do it.
Oh, all right. Okay. Sure.
We had thousands of people literally.
Oh, stop it.
I swear to God. I'm not kidding.
Really? Yeah.
It was insanity. Describe all 4 of your Dancing with the Stars co-hosts in one word. Lisa Canning.
Nervous. Because live TV.
Samantha Harris. One word only.
Energetic.
Brooke Burke.
A sweetheart.
Aaron Andrews.
My buddy.
Describe the hosts after you got the boot in one word. Tyra Banks.
A curiosity.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Thrilled for him.
Julianne Hough.
Perfect.
Out of all 4 of your co-hosts you worked with on Dancing with the Stars, who became a good friend off camera? Lisa, Samantha, Brooke, Aaron.
Brooke, but definitely Aaron. I think Aaron I'm closest to.
Biggest diva. Lisa, Samantha, Brooke, Aaron.
Oh, wow.
Diva can also be a good thing, just FYI.
Yeah, well, no, but I really don't think any of them were divas, really.
Okay.
I really don't.
I think Brooke would be nice. I think Brooke, because she loves being called a diva.
Does she really? Because I'll tell you, we'd always have the Monday morning production meetings in my dressing room. And it was always very laid back. And look, I know that the female co-hosts obviously had to take longer to get ready because they had different outfits every week, and I was wearing the same damn dark suit
and hair and makeup and everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that happens with this hair. It's just what it is.
You're naturally gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Just slap some powder on me and send me to the stage.
And a tie. Who was the funniest?
Aaron. Yeah, Aaron.
Who was the most fun to work with?
I would say Aaron and Brooke. It's sort of a tie.
Who did you bicker with the most?
None of them.
Boring. I guess you weren't there long enough. You just came in Monday.
But also, they had a different job. I had a lot of respect for what they had to do. They had the harder hosting job.
Really?
Because they had to kind of keep the show going while the contestants were waiting to either get their scores or they just got bad scores or whatever. And they're not wanting to talk to anybody.
We're also very emotional right now. Yeah, at that point.
Yeah, so I always thought that the co-host job was harder.
Who did you spend the most time with off camera? Lisa, Samantha, Brooke, Aaron.
I would say Brooke and Aaron.
Who did you learn from the most? Lisa, Samantha, Brooke, Aaron.
Who did I learn from the most?
Yeah, that's right. Learn.
I think in terms of dealing with curveballs that life can throw at you, it would be a tie between Aaron and Brooke.
Why?
Because they each had health issues.
Right.
They, and I think in both cases, it made us closer friends because I was able to offer some referrals to surgeons in Boston, who were just brilliant. And Brooke told me that even though she didn't get surgery with that person gave her more information than the one she actually was dealing with. So I just watched both of them deal with life challenges and do it with great grace and poise.
Yeah. Wow. They're strong women. I mean, especially when Aaron was going through that whole thing.
Yeah. And, I'm married to a strong woman. I have 2 strong-willed daughters. So I'm good in the company of strong women. I kind of like
bull.
it.
Taurus bull you. If you were to, let's say you were to host Dancing with the Stars again, we're not saying that you are. Who would you do it again with?
Aaron.
Name one.
Aaron.
Rapid fire from the fans. Ready?
All right.
Let's go. At the James Bennett. Best Dancing with the Stars host other than yourself?
Alfonso.
At Hannah Scarnecchia. Favorite part of the Dancing with the Stars process?
Mid-season parties.
At Misty Rose 647, least favorite star on the show?
Yeah.
At Mama, listen to this Instagram handle, at Mama Yo Dog 55.
Oh, I love
favorite co-host from Dancing with the Stars. Name one.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, because it's a really tie between Aaron and Brooke. You know, I mean, come on.
Ebrook. You can just put their names together.
Yeah, they're right.
At the Cy Dolly.
Brereron.
I like that.
Yeah.
At the Cy Dolly Hassan. Wow, this is fascinating. Wow. Favorite pro dancer.
You.
Uh-huh.
I've said that before.
Yeah.
I don't think I've made it.
When I wasn't here?
Yeah, no, I've told people you're my favorite. I mean, I love a lot of them, but
I know
you're my favorite. Yeah.
Thank you. At Jennifer Feng Wing Yi. Your favorite Dancing with the Stars couple of all time?
You and Drew.
Aw. At Quite Even. It's not spelled like that, but that's what it is. Yeah. Why didn't his old coworker Bob from Breakfast Time do Dancing with the Stars? He will laugh and understand.
Oh, that's Bob. Before we started doing this, Al Rosenberg, who was the brilliant comic mind behind Bob, who was like the Greek chorus of our show. He passed away recently, and I spoke at his funeral. And I just loved him. And this is one of the puppets that I managed to save. And that's I used to call him our little wart-laden sock.
Oh, that's what those bumps are.
Yeah,
I was wondering.
Like and but Al Rosenberg.
Wait, have him do a cha-cha. What would he look like as a contestant? Come on,
he doesn't have legs. Okay, Bobby, you rest down here for that.
You rest down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to thank that particular person for that question, because I will say this, Cheryl, with all respect to you and everybody else on dancing. My favorite experience on television ever was hosting Breakfast Time on FX.
Was it jumping into the orange juice, or was it the puppet?
No, the jumping into the orange juice happened on that
sounds amazing right now.
On the unfortunate network adaptation of Breakfast Time, and it was my way of saying F you to the network.
So if you could jump into a pile of whatever, would it be a bunch of mirror balls or?
I think all they have to do is read. They only have to read some of my interviews.
They only have to listen to this podcast.
Look, here's the thing. I think at the point where I say the show that I left was not the show that I loved, what else do you have to say?
At Ju La La Chu, who was the most difficult celebrity to interview on the show?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm a bit at a loss because...
a loss for celebrities.
Yeah, well, just for difficult ones, because I think they all attempted, even if their dancing wasn't up to snuff, they attempted to, be personable and...
Master P.
Master P. Well, Master P he didn't want to be there.
He didn't wear dance shoes, for God's sake. He wore P. Miller shoes.
Wasn't he just filling in at the last minute for his son, who ultimately did do the show later? But so he didn't really want to be there. So
what was his name?
He was
Little something.
Lil Romeo.
There you go.
Lil Romeo. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I used to tease. I don't think he uses the Lil anymore, but I would always tease him about, what are you promoting this week? You're always promoting something.
Yeah. I mean, right in your face.
Yeah. I used to say that it was like watching her
long.
4 weeks, which was 3 weeks too long. It was like moving furniture around. It was like she had an armoire or something and she's trying to move it around the ballroom.
Okay. At MJU Beck. Okay.
Yep,
Did you leave by choice, or were you forced out?
Yeah, I was forced out.
What was Lois's and your daughter's reaction when you told them that you got fired?
Well, Lois knew how I felt that season. Right. I think she was relieved. And she was with me after the final show when I was clearing out my dressing room, saying everything that I want to keep.
Did you clear out your dressing room?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You went there.
Well, it was I didn't go to the wrap party at the end of my last season because there's no. You
don't go to wrap parties anyways.
Well, I tend not to, but that season I definitely didn't want to because I didn't want to deal with these people anymore. So I just. If there were pictures I wanted or whatever I wanted, I said, let's clear out now because I'm probably not ever coming back.
I mean, at least you weren't painting your room,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that was clumsily handled for Brooke, but yeah, no, I kind of knew, and Lois was relieved.
Is this just the name of the game, you think, in this business or in any business?
To some degree, look, it's show business, and the business part should be in capital letters, and the show part should be in lowercase.
In italic.
And if I look back at the run of my career, why would I bitch, really? Apart from talking about a personal difficulty with one person or two or three people, really. Yeah. Beyond that, I've been so fortunate. Mm-hmm. So that I don't want to blow that little end difficulty out of proportion, because the great majority of it was wonderful.
Totally. Do you think that you grieved? Did you grieve? Did you even have a grieving process, or was it something
kind of? Because
it's like you've been a part of this network, like you said. For how long?
Yeah.
Decades?
You know what really hurt the most? Because I knew that it was probably my last season, but they did for their 30th season, they did a whole special, and they didn't have one clip of me in it.
Really?
Yeah, there was not even a clip at all. And because I didn't watch it, but I got all these tweets and texts from people. No,
you know what? You're right.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what? That's bullshit. That kind of stuff is really petty, I think. And so when I was, again, I didn't watch it, but when I was told that there wasn't even so much as a clip of you in it, I thought, okay, all right. Because then they had that, when
that's
they said
hard to find, by the way, no clips of you.
Yeah, when they said they were moving the show in a new direction after firing me, and how I'll always be part of the family. I mean, you could smell the bullshit coming right off the page.
Did you get a text from any of the execs after? Like as soon as you made that decision? Nothing, not one.
Yeah, as soon as they fired.
As soon as you were fired, did you hear from any other executives? Yeah,
there was a woman who was the head of entertainment there. I didn't return her phone call.
Wow.
Well, I mean, what? I'm going to call her back, and we love everything you've done.
At least they tried. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding. Whatever. I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay, at J9279, lots of nines. What is something you would have liked to see changed on the show?
Some of the personnel.
Okay. At Child of the Universe 15. I feel like I'm saying, I feel like I'm doing America's pageant or whatever. Yeah. What was going through your head when Juan Pablo and Cheryl were eliminated, and when Bobby and Sharna won Dancing with the Stars season 27?
I shock both times. Bobby winning didn't surprise me as much.
Wait, was Bobby supposed to take over your job? Is that what I hear?
At one point, what I've heard is before they went to Tyra, they went to him.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard it from several reliable sources.
Wouldn't he have taken the job?
Sure, I would. If I was him, I would have.
Now, if it was Ryan Seacrest, maybe. I'm kidding.
I love Ryan. I think when Ryan, when Pat Sajak said he was leaving Wheel, and people were putting on a short list. I remember I texted or put on Instagram. I said, "No, I'm enjoying life, and give it to Ryan. The kid needs the work."
Oh my God, that guy works so much. But would you have done it?
No.
Why? How about?
Because I don't watch it, number one. Oh. I know what hosting a game show is like. I did it probably on the best show that I ever could.
You just never want to host again. Is that what you're saying?
I kind of don't. Oh. I really don't. No.
What if they brought you another live variety show type thing? No?
Well, look, I'm always open to being surprised.
Surprise!
But so I to echo Sean Connery in his last James Bond movie, never say never. But
or Justin Bieber.
Oh, okay. Did he do that too? Is that a song?
He sang a song about it, I guess.
Okay, but I can't envision a format or an approach that would be an inducement to me.
Fair enough. At Lauren Victrelli, 5 more. Most lazy contestant.
Master P.
Totally.
Yeah.
At Nikki Alexia. Don't you? Isn't that the best part of this whole thing? Is my pronouncement? Yeah. And anyway, best past or present male pro dancer on Dancing with the Stars.
Derek. Who is the most creative
Mark Ballas was pretty
well,
creative.
no, but, yeah, Mark. And I've gone and watched Mark on Broadway.
Yes, he's amazing
but in
too.
terms of consistency and just creativity, I have to give Derek the edge every time. Me too.
Yeah. 6 mirror balls in, he deserves all 6 of them.
Exactly right.
At Big Val Virgo, no, it's not Val Shmerkovsky. Who was your favorite celeb dancer?
There are so many that were really good. I think in terms of who,
like a good person.
Yeah, I think if like Drew got in touch and wanted to have lunch, I'd love it. Because I think he's a kick.
At Bainville 87, best theme night.
I kind of loved the Disney nights. I really did. I mean, I think we overdid it, but but I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed. I also loved it when the Muppets would come. Stuff like that. Cirque du Soleil showing up and.
The best was when Mickey and Minnie finally got so hot that oh God, what I saw under those things, I'm not going to ruin it for all the kids listening.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, did it make me so happy. Anyway, at Jen Lovis Mermaid, what is the most memorable mishap that happened live on Dancing with the Stars? We already talked about that.
Yeah, Marie. Fame.
At the Saidali Hassan. God, I love it. Favorite pro? We already talked about it. You're looking at her. Where can people find you? Under your desk?
Yeah, I'm really under my desk with Bob the Puppet here, and I'm on Instagram at Tom Bergeron. I think that's my only social. I mean, I have a Facebook page, but I don't really do much with it.
Well, a lot of our fans do. Okay, so what is it?
Really?
Yes.
I think it's just me. I think it's just my name.
At Tom Bergeron.
And it's got that little blue asterisk that it means yellow. Something. It means something there, not on Twitter or X, whatever they're calling it now.
Ew.
You have to buy one now, I think, and anybody can. And then it can impersonate you.
So you can definitely buy one.
The moment Elon Musk got Twitter, I left.
That's right.
I said, hello, I must be going.
Oh, one more question. Taylor Swift, did you really fall during the result show?
I don't
remember that. They're having Taylor Swift night coming up here.
Yeah, it was a bit because they were doing a package that included, it ended with Marie Osmond fainting and everything. So I turned to Taylor. I said, I'm going to do something. Are you okay reading prompter?
That's funny.
She said, yeah, she was fine. And so it came, I didn't even tell. I think Con was still doing it then. I forget who was, but I didn't tell anybody that I was going to do it. And so it came back to me and I just pretended to faint. And Taylor took us to break brilliantly.
I
no
remember
surprise.
Now.
And the picture you see, I think I posted, is me giving her a thumbs up and her laughing because she did it so well. Because I just sprung it on her like seconds before we were coming back to here. It just occurred to me it'd be funny if I faint too. So that's what I did. My God!
So wait, were people like running out to make sure you were okay?
Oh no! You could see everybody laughing all around.
That was a great picture, though. It looked like it was real. Taylor Swift is really nice, though. I remember her being so nice.
She was really game and did a great job. Just taking a curveball like that.
Good times, Thomas.
I love you.
I love you more. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your time.
Was this everything you hoped it would be and more?
And more.
Okay. And everybody at the network listening. That show has been complimented more than criticized, certainly.
It really has.
By both of us, yeah.
Tell Lois I say hi.
I will, hon.
Make sure you guys follow us at Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans on our Instagram handle. And make sure you comment. Let me know who you want me to interview. What do y'all think? Let me know.